Hi, Big Dreamers. It's Eva Cartman, host of the Dream Big podcast show, the place to go to learn, laugh, and grow. This past weekend, I had one of the most thrilling experiences in my life. It was not perfect, but it still was incredible, and I can't wait to tell you all about it in this 176th episode of the Dream Big podcast. You know what time it is. It's time to dream big. My name is Eva Cartman. I'm part of a squad of super kids that are here to change the world. We don't believe you need to be adults to have big goals and start working towards your dreams. We believe age is just a number, and you're never too young to make a difference. We may be young, but we are not naive. We understand that achieving our big dreams will not be easy. It will take incredible dedication, hard work, and yes, massive action. There will be ups and downs, but we embrace the challenges and relish pushing outside of our comfort zone because this is how we grow. They may not teach us these concepts in our school textbooks, but we are smart enough to know that the tools and tactics to achieve our big dreams are out there, and we are willing to do the work to seek out these skills and master them because we know that our future depends on it. We are the Big Dreamers, and it's time to dream big. Before we dive into this week's episode, let's kick things off with a laugh courtesy of silly Sophia.
How does a scientist freshen her breath? With experiments. What did one volcano say to the other? I love you.
Thank you, Sophia. As you know, the inspiration for many of these solo episodes come from what I am experiencing in my own life, and I like to share what I am learning through these experiences. For the past 4 months, much of my focus and energy has been on the Annie musical. I tried out for the musical late last year and was honored to be cast as Annie. And we just had the performances last weekend, so I wanted to share how it went with all of you. Myself and the entire cast really had poured so much energy into this production, sacrificing our weekends for the last 4 months to be at practice, and especially in the last few weeks leading up to the show, we were at the studio 3 to 4 times per week, with some practices and rehearsals going as long as 7 hours. In episode 174, I shared with you my tips on how to deal with stressful situations, and being cast as the lead in a play certainly qualified as a stressful situation. I would encourage you to check out that episode at dreambigpodcast.com/174 to learn how I managed my stress leading up to the show. Now, one thing I will say is that myself and the entire cast was prepared and ready for these performances. We all knew our lines, we knew the songs, we knew the choreography. So I think that took a lot of the pressure off when it came to the day of the performance. But even then, when my parents had the final pep talk with me on the day of the show, we talked about how when you are doing a live performance, things will not go perfectly according to plan. Their advice was that no matter what happens, it was my job to not get flustered, to keep on going, and to make whatever adjustments were necessary to do my absolute best under the circumstances. We had 2 shows last weekend, one on Saturday evening and the second show on Sunday. For the Saturday night show, my best friends from school came out to support me. And of course, my parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles were there too. I definitely did feel some nerves before the show, but I used the excited not nervous tip from the episode 174 to convince myself that the sweaty palms and faster heartbeat that I was feeling as we were getting ready to come on stage was my excitement to finally do the performance. When the lights came up, I took the center of the stage to perform the first solo called Maybe. I could tell right away that there was something wrong with my microphone. It was fading in and out as I was singing. So within 60 seconds of the show starting, things were already not going according to plan. That didn't take long, I thought to myself. But rather than get flustered, I just kept on singing and even sang louder to make sure that when my microphone did fade out, everyone in the audience could still hear my voice. Despite the technical difficulties, the song went really well, and it felt great when I heard the audience's applause at the end of the number. The microphone continued to give me trouble in the next number, Hard Knock Life, too. And it actually fell out of my outfit during one of the dance moves. Again, I just kept on going. I saw from the corner of my eye that the director was calling me over during a portion of the song where I was not needed on center stage. So I actually exited the stage even though I was supposed to be on, and the crew fixed my microphone in under a minute. And I got right back on stage as if nothing happened. But my biggest test of all came during my most important solo of the night. The famous song, Tomorrow. If you have seen the musical, you may remember that Annie sings Tomorrow holding the dog she rescues, which she names Sandy. For the past month, Shonda, one of the amazing crew members, had been bringing her dog Remy to the rehearsals for me to practice with. During rehearsal, Remy always came right to me. He was easy to hold, never tried to get away. But that all changed the day of the first show. When I called him to come on stage, Remy did not want to come out. Clearly, this puppy had a serious case of stage fright. After calling a few times, I walked off stage and picked up the dog to bring him on stage. As I was singing Tomorrow, I was holding the dog but could tell that the dog was looking off stage at Shonda and trying to get loose of my grasp. I just held on and kept him calm and managed to still deliver the song to the best of my ability. There were a handful of other examples that I could give from the show of how it did not go perfectly according to plan. But that was okay. We definitely did our best and all had a blast at the show. The audience did too, and the cast received a standing ovation at the end, just as I had visualized, despite the fact that the show was not perfect. I mentioned at the beginning that we also had a show on Sunday, and that one went even better than the one on Saturday. For the second show, we did a better job of securing and positioning my microphone so it did not come loose during the show. The dog was also more calm on Sunday, and I had plenty of snacks in my pocket to feed the dog when I sensed he was looking off stage. And because it was our last show, the entire cast really went all in with the performance and delivered to the very best of our abilities. And that's all I really wanted to share on this episode. The Annie musical was one of the most memorable experiences of my life. There is something magical about working really hard on a project for a number of months and seeing all that hard work pay off. The big takeaways that I learned from the performances and that I encourage you to apply in your own life is 1, you are not perfect and that's okay. Perfection is an impossible standard and can actually kill your dreams. Because perfectionists often don't try at all because of their fear of failure. Or they do try but end up being disappointed and unhappy when things don't go according to plan. And 2, that there is always room for improvement. Of course, with the first show, there were going to be some mistakes and adjustments that needed to be made. So the key was to recognize what went wrong and fix them. With the microphone, as an example, we didn't attach it to my costume the same way we did on day 1 when it fell out during Hard Knock Life. So always look for ways you can improve. It is progress that you are after, not perfection. If you enjoyed this episode, please point your friends and family to dreambigpodcast.com/176 for the show notes. And it would mean the world to me if you take a moment to leave a positive review on iTunes at dreambigpodcast.com/iTunes. It really does make my day to hear from you and know that the hard work that we put in each and every week to bring you a new episode every Monday is making a difference. So if this podcast is helping you, then please ask your parents to help you leave a review at dreambigpodcast.com/iTunes. As always, thank you so much for tuning into the Dream Big Podcast. This is Eva Cartman reminding you that you have unlimited potential. Your dreams are not optional, you need to make them essential. So take massive action to turn those big dreams into reality. Live with passion, the way life was meant to be. I'll see you next episode. Bye!